Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So today I'm going to show you guys how I do my flawless base look. So I'm just focusing exactly on the skin. So my powder, my foundation, my concealer, my contour, my highlight, just everything that is right on your face, that's right here. No eyes, no eyebrows. We are all in this area today. Block this out, we're all here today. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that look, and if you want to see it, keep watching. Okay, so to get started with my base, obviously first we need to start with a primer. So right now my favorite primer is the OleHenriksen Banana Bright Face Primer, and what I really like about this is that it's skincare and makeup combined. OleHenriksen is one of my top tier holy grail favorite skincare brands. So for them to kind of step into the makeup realm, I mean, they're almost there because you have a primer and it's still skincare, and I just love when skincare and makeup can cross paths. So that's exactly what this is. So I usually take about 1 squirt of this, and it's a good amount, and I'll rub it in my hands and put it right on my face, and it smells just like oranges, vitamin C, and you know, it helps to brighten your face. So you get that nice orangey excuse me, orange citrus smell. You know, get your eyes and all that good stuff. So I actually already did my brows because it's brows before anything else. So since our brows are done, let's go ahead and apply our foundation. So this is my best, you know, you want to look snatched, our foundation, what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Our base. You know, you're going to set our face to the best it can be. So I use the NARS Radiant Foundation, and I am the color New Caledonia. I'm actually running a little low. So what I like to do is, I'm going to put it on my face in different areas. Ooh, that almost got on my shirt. So I just like to squirt the foundation, you know, different areas. So I think that's enough. And it is full coverage. So since it is full coverage, you won't need a super generous amount. And next, what I like to do, I like to spray my Real Techniques Expert foundation brush with this Olay Calming Mist. And this is the aloe leaf and chamomile extract. This one smells so good. So in between applying my foundation, concealer, anything on my face, I like to still hydrate. So sometimes in between those steps, you'll see me spray this on my face. And that's just me trying to remain hydrated because I don't want to get my makeup done and then feel that my face is a little crusty. So I just like to go ahead and spray this on my brush. I guess this would be equivalent to, you know, like wetting your beauty blender. So once I get that, I like to go ahead and then start blending in that foundation. Okay, and so now that the foundation is blended in, I like to go a little bit more on top of my upper lip. I used to color correct, but I don't know, I'm still iffy about color correctors, so I'll just apply extra foundation on top of my top lip. When I was younger, I had eczema there, and that's like the worst place to get eczema. I was constantly like licking my lips and like scratching it, and then the skin, like, you know what eczema is, it just became really raw and irritated, and that's something that's so close to your face, and if I would sneeze, I was constantly rubbing it, so it was just constantly irritated. So I think that's why that spot is darker than the rest of my face. And I had that back in like elementary, I think that was like the end of elementary school, so like 5th or 6th grade. It was very annoying. Okay, so now that we are done with the foundation and everything is blended in, and this foundation looks good, and I do appreciate that although the NARS foundation is full coverage, it doesn't look cakey. So it's still super light, and I don't feel like I have like a ton of makeup on. I've had some foundations, I will not name it, but I've had some foundations and it's full coverage, you squirt it out and it's like a blob of like cake mix. Like, that's not what I'm looking for in a full coverage foundation. What I'm looking for is something that is lightweight, still gets the job done, and is super easy to put on, and that's exactly what NARS is. Alright, so now that our foundation is on, then I like to go ahead and apply my concealer. Where did that go? Here it is. So my new favorite concealer, which I don't know why it took me so long to get, is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. So I used to use Tarte's Shape Tape. I've tried NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I tried Fenty Beauty, which I also do like. It is number 2. I've tried a lot of concealers, but I found that this is the creamiest. Again, full coverage, creamy, but it's not, it doesn't cross that line of being cakey. It gets the job done. It's just here for its job. It doesn't do anything else. And it keeps you looking good. So I like to put a little down the bridge of my nose, the tip, then right in between the brows, then under my eyes, and then my trick for contouring, I am going to show you guys that. I like to just draw a little line underneath my jawbone, or lack thereof, the jawbone we're going to create, I'll say. Oh, let me put some on top of my lip. There we go. Yeah, so I find that putting concealer right here on my face helps to really sculpt my jaw when we go and contour. So I let this sit for a little bit, and the thing about this is it doesn't dry fast, so you can let it sit for like maybe, I don't know, maybe like a minute or two. Usually while I'm putting glue on my lashes, or if I'm doing something else, I'll let this dry down a little bit, and then I'll go in and blend it in. And while this is sitting, I'm going to go run and get my beauty blender and blend this in. Okay, and we are, oh my god, wait. And we're back with our beauty blender. So I like to start right above my lip. I mean, obviously you can start anywhere, but I like to start at my lip and then work my way up. I mean, see, even with this concealer, I like just took a phone call and that turned into 5 minutes. So the concealer was sitting on my face for 5 minutes, and it still blends in really easily, and it doesn't get hard to blend, because I've had some concealers, like if I leave it on there for 30 seconds, it's like, oh man, you screwed up. So I appreciate that this is so easy to blend and still very creamy. And then for blending in the concealer underneath my jawline, I still like to, you know, suck in my face and create that line. And then I'll dab it in and drag it down towards the bottom of my face. So down and kind of in towards the hairline. Okay, and now that we have that settled, let's move on to everyone's favorite thing, contouring. So I still struggle with contour, but I figured out a method that works for me. So I am using the Fenty Beauty Pro Concealer, and I got, I think, the second to darkest shade. This is $4.95, and I didn't realize how dark it was once I got it, but I'm like, you know what, I have it now, I'm stuck with it. I can still make it work. And it creates a killer, like, snatched jawline. So this is my secret. So because it is super dark and the concealer is very creamy, I like to do 2 like little lines, like literally just that, 2 dots, and do 1 on my jawline and the same on the side. And then my nose is, I'm gonna leave my nose alone again today. I still haven't mastered the nose contour, so I'm gonna figure it out off camera and let you guys know how it goes. So today we're just doing cheek contour. We're creating a jawline. So I'm using this Luxie. It is the Pro Precision Face Luxie 680, and it's this angled, kind of tapered, angled contour brush. So I just like to go ahead and kind of blend that in. And again, for the cheeks, I'm going to suck it in like I did the concealer. Okay, so once I have that, drag that in. So I just like to mostly contour my face, lower half of my face. Every now and then if I wake up and I'm like, wow, my forehead looks really big, I'll go ahead and contour my forehead, but I don't usually do that. It's usually like maybe once in a blue moon. Very, very rare. So once I have my contour down, another trick that I like to do, let's take this is a Fenty Beauty setting powder, and this is the color, oops, Hazelnut. So I like to take Hazelnut. Actually, let's take Nutmeg. Hazelnut's going to go underneath my eyes. Hazelnut is a little bit yellower, and Nutmeg is more of like my skin tone. So Nutmeg, and I'm going to take that same beauty blender and just dab it into the setting powder. And this is a tip that I learned from Alyssa Ashley. So once you dab your beauty blender into your powder, then I take I think she used a napkin, or a paper towel. All I have is toilet paper right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and dab some of that excess powder onto the toilet paper. So you see all of that product, and we're going to go ahead, and I like to just kind of start from my hairline and work towards about the middle of my face, right underneath that contour line. So just like that. And I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. And do the same thing to the other side. And we're going to dab it. Dab that. And we're going to let that sit. And so while this is sitting, we're going to go ahead and bake underneath our eyes. And I'm using the Fenty Beauty setting powder in that color Hazelnut. And Hazelnut is a little bit lighter than Nutmeg. It's not too much. And it's not like a banana. It's a nice like tan. Not terracotta, not banana, not beige. It's, you know, it's brown girl friendly. So that's what I like to do with that. Just to kind of create that snatch nose illusion. And we go right up under there. Has anyone ever smelled this setting powder? Because this smells amazing. Like, whoa, that smells so good. It smells like, I don't know, like perfume, but like chocolatey. It's not an overwhelming smell, but if you get close enough to it, you're like, that smells good. It smells real good. Okay, so I don't like to let my setting powder sit for too long, just because I'm kind of like self-conscious about baking, because I've seen people with flashback and it, like, you know, scares me. So I don't like my setting powder to sit for too long. So I'm going to go ahead and dust off the excess that's on my contour line. And move on to the other side. And then go ahead and hit my under eyes and dust off that excess. And put a little shimmer on my eyes and did my lashes. This is just some basic, what's this, Lorac mascara. So before I put on my highlighter and the setting powder, again, so I'm referring back to this Olay setting, or the mist. So after I put powder on, I feel like my face looks a little, not dry, but it just looks very, like, very powdery. So I just like to put this on to liven it up a little bit. So, I think that brought us back to life. Let that dry a little bit. And so for my highlighter today, I'm going to do a little throwback and use Champagne Pop by Becca. And I remember when this came out, like, the girls were fighting for this highlighter. The girls had gone wild for Champagne Pop. Not to be confused with Champagne Poppy. So, I put a little bit of highlighter on, and I'm going to go ahead and hit right. I don't even know what, is this like your cheek or your upper cheek, the cheekbone? So just right there. And then I have to take it up a little bit by the eyebrows, just so when you catch that light, you can see all of that. And go ahead and lightly do the other side. So I like to put a little bit of highlighter on the brush first and then build it that way, rather than just coming strong straight out the gate and then you're just stuck looking very luminous. Not that there's anything wrong with that, that's just not me. So we've built it right there, and I like to do the bridge of my nose. Oh, My forehead is wet. Uh-oh, what happened there? Nothing your beauty blender can't fix. There we go. Okay, so after I do that, then I just like to take my finger and do the tip of my nose. I don't want anything too bright. So, just like that. And blend it in a little bit. Yep, and then my top lip. And we're good there. And then to bring it all together, I like to use the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray Mist. Setting Mist. It feels so good. It just smells so good. I'm going to fan that out for a little bit. Alright, and that is how I get my flawless face. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys found it informational. Knowledgeable, is that the word I'm looking for? And informational. I hope you guys found this video, I guess informational would be, I don't think that's the right word. I hope you learned something. Let's just say that. So I hope you learned something. I'll include the list of the products that I use in the description box below. And I'll see you guys next video. Bye.